Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I'd like to thank you for all your years of support through the years. As a result, this channel has grown and allowed me an equity partnership in carmarshal.com. Please take the time to check them out. They help you buy and sell your next car, even have a negotiating tool to save you from the hassle of haggling with multiple dealers. The link is in the description below. Please click and help support and give if you can too through PayPal or Patreon. Thanks again.
Mr. Schwarzbaum, how does the time you spent at Auschwitz affect you today, 70 years on?
Beeinflusst diese Zeit immer noch Ihr Leben, auch 70 Jahre danach?
Wie hat man mein Leben zerstört?
My life was destroyed. It was completely destroyed. 35 people in my family were killed in a single day. In Auschwitz, if you were lucky, you lived. If not, you died. Today, now that I'm older, it all comes back to me with enormous force.
What do you remember about that time?
A truck filled with naked people. A truck with no roof. And the people cried, screamed, raised their hands up towards the sky, as if they expected help from God. That's what I saw. And this image is still with me today.
Es gibt ja einige, die in Auschwitz Dienst getan haben.
There are some people who served in Auschwitz, SS men, who say they initially had no idea what was going on there and that people were actually being killed. Do you believe that's possible?
Ist das aus Ihrer Sicht möglich?
Unmöglich.
Impossible. You have to imagine there was fire coming out of the chimneys.
So ein Feuer. Nicht kein Rauch, sondern Feuer.
Not smoke, but fire. And the stench was unbearable. There was always something coming out of the 5 chimneys. And at night, you could see the fire coming out.
Rauchten immer. Und nachts sah man dieses Feuer aus den Schornsteinen. Da kann mir kein SS.
No SS man can claim he didn't know what was going on. They all knew what was happening.
Die wussten alle, was los war. Alle.
Wie beurteilen Sie die Rolle?
In your view, what role did men such as Oskar Gröning or the men on trial now play in the system at Auschwitz?
Was damals in Auschwitz passiert ist?
Ein SS-Mann war an der Rampe, als meine Eltern da angekommen.
One SS soldier was on the ramp when my parents arrived.
Ich denke, ich habe ein Bild.
It still gets to me now. I remember this scene
Meine Mutter
where my mother and father stood in front of him.
Das waren kleine Rädchen.
They were small cogs, but they kept the larger wheels in motion. That's how you have to see it.
Das muss man so
Admittedly, they might be different people now than they were back then,
zugegeben.
but they have to be held accountable for their crimes.
Mord verjährt nicht.
It's not about whether they go to jail.
Dass sie ins Gefängnis kommen.
For me, it's about getting them to tell the truth about what they did.
Was sie damals angetan haben.
Ist das aus Ihrer Sicht eher eine qualvolle Pflicht, die Sie damit übernehmen?
Is it a painful duty for you, telling these stories to others and reliving them over and over? Or does it help you to be able to talk about it and to know that people are listening?
Ich erachte das als meine Pflicht.
I consider it my duty to talk about this as long as I live. The dead cannot do this.
Toten können das nicht. Ich gehe
I visit schools and talk about what I experienced. I do that a lot.
häufig. Bin häufig in Schulen.
Wie erleben Sie das
What is your
Deutschland?
view of Germany today? Can we be certain that something like what happened in Auschwitz will never be repeated?
Bin ich mir nicht sicher. Muss ich Ihnen ehrlich sagen.
Honestly, I must say, I'm not sure.
Die Rechtsradikalen,
When I see what's happening, the rise of the radical right
politische Richter,
and the direction of politics, I can't be sure that something like this will never happen again.
das nun
But it's taking place again and again around the world in different forms.
Wieder in anderer Form in der Welt. Nicht? Und dann die ganzen Kriege.
If you look at all the crises and what's going on,
Wenn man so sieht, was
it's
alles in
enough
der
to
Welt
make you a
passiert,
skeptic.
kann man Skeptiker sein.
"87-year-old grandma sentenced to prison for saying Auschwitz was just a labor camp." Political dissidents in Germany are feeling the wrath of free speech laws that apply only when the government approves of their speech. By J. Sermopoulos, September 3, 2017. Revealing exactly why the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment is so crucial, an 87-year-old woman was sentenced to 10 months in jail after being convicted of violating German hate speech laws after claiming that Jews were never exterminated in Auschwitz. According to German state-run broadcaster, Deutsche Welle. A court in Detmold on Friday sentenced Ursula Haverbeck to 8 months in jail on charges of sedition. The presiding judge ruled out the possibility of parole and said that Haverbeck had a lack of any kind of respect and that she had made more offensive comments in the courtroom. Haverbeck is expected to appeal against the sentencing. In Germany, anyone who publicly denies, endorses, or plays down the extermination of Jews during Adolf Hitler's regime can be sentenced to a maximum of 5 years in jail. Haverbeck was found guilty of writing a letter to Detmold's mayor, Rainer Heller, saying it was clearly recognizable that Auschwitz was nothing more than a labor camp. She wrote her message at the time when the Detmold court was trying Reinhold Hanning, a former guard who served at the Auschwitz concentration camp. It should be noted that Ursula Haverbeck is well known for her extremist right-wing views, and has run afoul of German hate speech laws in the past, with courts having previously given her fines and another suspended sedition sentence, according to Fox News. Just last year Haverbeck went on trial for proclaiming that the Holocaust was the biggest and longest-lasting lie in history. However, even if her speech is wrong and hateful, this woman, like everyone else, deserves not to be silenced. Read more. Video: cop attempts to violate a man's rights but his sergeant shows up and shuts him down. Wikipedia explains German hate speech laws as advertisement. Volksverhetzung, in English incitement of the masses, instigation of the people, is a concept in German criminal law that refers to incitement to hatred against segments of the population and refers to calls for violent or arbitrary measures against them, including assaults against the human dignity of others by insulting, maliciously maligning, or defaming segments of the population. It is often applied to, though not limited to, trials relating to Holocaust denial in Germany. In the U.S., incitement of violence is criminal, but assaults against human dignity of others by insulting, malicious maligning, or defaming segments of the population are considered an exercise of free speech, and are protected under the First Amendment. Essentially, German law has criminalized speech as a means of controlling political discourse, meaning the government will tell you what is acceptable to say, and who is fair game to malign. For example, during Carnival in Germany, political satire and fancy costumes are common themes, with many German cities holding float parades, of which many depict political themes. Floats maligning U.S. President Donald Trump were common, and in one instance depicting him with a decapitated head held up high by the Statue of Liberty. There were numerous other floats making fun of nationalist European leaders and right-wing parties. One float in Dusseldorf showed President Trump standing next to a blonde Hitler, along with France's Marine Le Pen, and the Netherlands' Geert Wilders. Germany tradition prides itself on Narrenfreiheit, gestures freedom, to mock the powerful, with Germany's state-run Deutsche Welle news agency proclaiming, German gestures take on kings for 2017 Carnival. For those that found the violent depiction of right-wing politicians objectionable, prominent German journalist Christian Thiels was quick to remind the public that, it's called freedom of satire. You don't have to like it or find it tasteful, but it is part of free speech. Yet, when the residents of the small German town of Bad Bergzabern attempted to mock Chancellor Angela Merkel and her refugee policy, there was a starkly different response. Read more. it must be eradicated. State passes law declaring pornography a public health crisis. A non-political group of locals showed up with a float of German Chancellor Angela Merkel behind prison bars, with the caption, "This is how traitors end up." Essentially, the German equivalent of the popular US election slogan used by many Trump supporters for Hillary Clinton, "Lock her up." The very next day a police complaint was filed, and police, along with the state attorney of Landau district, opened an investigation against the subversives who dared poke fun at Merkel. Interestingly, the same German police and legal system that took weeks to open an investigation in the wake of mass sexual assaults in the city of Cologne on New Year's Eve, and eventually closed most of the cases after a year-long investigation, immediately began a criminal investigation into the group of locals. Germany's state-run Südwestrundfunk broadcaster wrote, "The float showed the head of the chancellor behind the prison bars." According to a police statement, by Tuesday many residents had complained about the float and a case had been filed. The state attorney's office in Landau is examining if the depiction of the chancellor is a punishable offense. The float was registered by a private group from South Palatinate Kapellen Drusweiler. The office holders of the group told SWR that they do not belong to any right-wing group, and only wanted it to be a thought-provoking exercise. Before German law enforcement could make any assessments, the mayor's office of Bad Bergzabern issued a statement that from now on, all carnival floats were first to apply for mayoral approval. See how that works? If you make fun of people, or groups, that the government approves of maligning, it is considered political satire and free speech applies. Yet if you make fun of, or disrespect, someone within the elite power structure of Germany, it is considered a criminal offense. Read more. Teenager thrown in jail for calling cops pigs from a moving vehicle. While some speech may be extreme and repulsive, the prohibition on certain ideas, even the most repugnant, being put into the public marketplace of ideas is a fast track to totalitarian governmental control, essentially legitimizing the thought police. I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. Hall in Friends of Voltaire. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster. For when you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you. Friedrich Nietzsche.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts, 4 hours a day, and to save America, you know. But at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that's that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, what we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself, 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know, too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So, if you can give more than that, that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that, that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So That case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know the $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.